Good evening from Lincolnshire, and I'm doing this quickly because I have just arrived at my latest quirky stay as the sun is setting, so I haven't even put the mic on or anything, but I think you'll be able to hear me. I'm at the end of a lane called Sea Lane, just outside Wainfleet, which is on the east coast of England, sort of midway between Boston and Skegness, I suppose. And this tower is the air control tower for RAF Wainfleet, which doesn't exist anymore. You can book and stay in the tower. I'm not doing that tonight and tomorrow night. I'm going to be sleeping in a helicopter. Of course I am. Welcome then to my next quirky stay. I figured that seeing as there was a little bit of daylight left, I would come for a sneaky little 1 hour outside, because it is November, so it's 1 hour outside month. Get a little bit of time outside every day, people. This is Wainfleet bombing range, and this is my old patch. Not the bombing range particularly, but this bit on the east coast in Lincolnshire. I lived here for many years in Boston, then Coningsby, then Sleaford, and then Waddington near Lincoln. I know this area reasonably well. So that's towards Skegness, that's south, that's towards Boston. I'll head back now because it's starting to get dark, and I've parked up the car, had a very quick look to make sure I could actually get in, and then I just thought, you know what, I could do with a walk, or at least a little one. It is beautiful in its own way here in Lincolnshire. As you can see, big skies. Should we start this properly? Now we're all set. I'm a bit of a mess. The hair's like some sort of, I don't know what's happened to this, never mind. And as you can see, I haven't quite sorted myself out yet. Now it is absolutely pitch black, and it is 5:20 in the afternoon. And to be honest, I really am struggling with the early sunsets. I mean, it was beautiful. I arrived just before 4 o'clock and sunset was at 16:19. I decided I'm going to go for a walk, and now I'm going to work out where I am and what I'm doing. But yeah, welcome to my 7th and what I think is the final episode in this series of quirky stays. As you know, I started these at the end of June. The idea being to give me something to plan, something to do, something away, a bit of adventure, something little, accessible to me, tickling that desire to have adventure despite what's been going on in my life this year. And I think they have worked. I am, as I said earlier, I'm at RAF Wainfleet, and I'm in a helicopter. This is definitely more on the camping side of glamping, although there is underfloor heating in here, and it's actually quite toasty. I've left the door open a little bit because, if anything, it's a little too warm and stuffy in here. I suspect the owners have had this heating going all day for me. But I'm going to get myself situated. I have got a little kitchenette and a bathroom with everything that I need. And as always, when I'm doing the glamping style of quirky stays, I've brought pass-o dinners. There's a picnic table so I can sit there if I want to. There's obviously a futon bed here. I'm sorely tempted to set it up as a bed now, even though it is only 5:20 in the afternoon. I shouldn't do that. I should wait until bedtime. I've got 2 nights here. Tomorrow I'm planning to go for a nice long walk along the sea bank on the England coast path, which is the King Charles coast path now, isn't it? They've renamed it, up to Gibraltar Point. And I'm also going to go to Skegness for a walk on the seafront with my family. But as always when I come to these, I am absolutely shattered. Actually, really am very tired. I think I could probably go to bed now and sleep all night. It's because it's so dark. It's so dark. And I am in the middle of nowhere too, so there's no street lights or anything like that. There's a farmer working the fields. He's got his lights on, whatever kind of tractory thing he's using, crop sprayer or something like that. I'm just going to relax this evening, sort myself out in here, have some dinner. And I had my lunch really early, so I suspect I'll end up with an early dinner. And today's dinner is past Zoe beef chilli, and guess what? A bag of tortilla chips. Then I'm going to watch the Bake Off, and then I might do some writing, and then I'm going to go to bed. The tour stuff, showing you around, it's too dark and difficult now. I'll do that tomorrow. I did want to say, because I suspect the first question I'm going to get is, oh, that's tiny. And it is quite small, but I can stand up in here as much as I can stand up in my Robins green cone, where I can just about stand up with my sort of head hunched forward. So that means that getting dressed and things is fine. Yeah, just a quick look I will do all the tour stuff tomorrow. You see the cockpit. You can't see me because it's absolutely pitch black. 6:30 or something. My dinner's heating up. I just wanted to tell you how eerie this place is. There are hundreds of derelict, abandoned RAF bases in Lincolnshire, and this is just one of them. Especially with the helicopter and the jet stream, it's just so eerie. Definitely glad I brought my head torch. Well, that was a most excellent past Zoe dinner, if I do say so myself. Beef chilli just seems like the right thing for bonfire night as well, doesn't it? Dinner is done, and so now it's time for my Quirky Stay chocolate treat of choice. I had lots of ideas for this one, but they were all just a little bit tenuous. So I'm in a helicopter, I'm on an RAF base. I've gone with aero bubbles. Aero as in, you know, flight, air, sky. Couldn't find anything helicopter shaped or helicopter themed. I did wonder if I might find some like helicopter shaped chocolate lollies or something in any of the traditional sweet shops, but I went into a couple and I couldn't find anything. So I've gone with aero bubbles, and actually these are one of my favourite chocolate treats. I am a big fan of mint chocolate, and I know a lot of people aren't. Lucy, I know you hate the stuff, but I genuinely love mint chocolate. So I thought I would treat myself to one of my favourite treats for my last Quirky Stay of the year, and it is linked. Aero is good enough for me. Bed's made. It takes up the entire surface area of the floor, which I should have realised. Of course it does. Where else are they putting a bed in here? It's ready, it's done. I'm going to eat my chocolate treat, watch the Bake Off, and go to bed. And welcome to my helicopter glamping pod, and it's daylight because it's morning. I've had an incredibly slow morning, quite ridiculously so. It is embarrassingly 20 to 10 and I am still in my pyjamas, and I've decided that because it is now basically brunch time, I'm going to have a mince pie for breakfast. I wanted a pint of milk so that I could have tea, obviously, and I'm on cup number 3 because tea. I saw these by the counter and I thought, yeah, it's early November. November is a great time to eat mince pies. I love mince pies. But anyway, good morning. The plan today is to go for a walk. I'm going to go up to Gibraltar Point, which is about 5 miles north up the coast, and there is a cafe there. So the plan is to go there for lunch. I've really struggled to get going in the mornings recently. I blame the change in the clocks, the dark mornings, etc, etc. But I can actually show you around now, can't I? So I will give you a little tour this morning. I slept well, actually. It's probably very slightly bigger than the capsule hotel I stayed in a couple of weekends ago. You'll have seen that video by the time this one goes up. I was worried that it would be really cold and loads of condensation and the rest of it. And whilst the windows were definitely condensated this morning when I woke up, it wasn't like damp inside or anything. And yeah, that underfloor heating works a treat. It's very peaceful. I'm not going to say it's silent. It's not silent. There's no traffic noise. I can't quite see the sea from here, but I can certainly hear the seagulls and the sounds of the sea going on. There's also been the occasional fast jet fly over. This is Lincolnshire. And then I'm surrounded by fields, farmers' fields. Obviously, of course I am. This is Lincolnshire. This is where most of our food is grown in England. I think I'm right in saying that. It's certainly where most of our potatoes come from, our leeks and our cabbages and our cauliflowers, and these will be the cabbages that will be on your shelves for Christmas. I think that's it for now. I will just say about these Quirky Stays, if this is the first Quirky Stay video you've been watching, I'd really love it if you went back and watched the whole series. In each video, I think you get a little snippet about what on earth it is I'm doing with these Quirky Stays. These are born out of life-changing circumstance that happened to me earlier on in the summer. An opportunity for me to have a tiny little adventure somewhere a bit weird and wonderful where my brain brain and my body is taken out of reality slightly and into something a bit weird whilst doing something that I love already, which is spending time outside and, well, camping. I guess this is elevated camping in that way, but also having a little adventure, something to plan, something to look forward to, and then something to experience. And then the videos are a way of giving these adventures a different kind of purpose, a creative purpose, if you like. I needed a thing. I'm already thinking about series 2. I've definitely got 1 on the list. If you've got places that you've stayed, you've seen kind of things that I've done, and it's been really varied this year. There's been 7 of them. Drop them in the comments because I'd really love to investigate series 2. I'm dressed, I'm sorted, I've had a bit of a tidy up. It's surprising how quickly you can make a mess in such a small space. Let me show you around my helicopter. Not something I necessarily thought I'd ever say. Right, so that's the air traffic control tower for RAF Wainfleet. Over on the left there, it's like a games room shared between all of the accommodation. My helicopter is right over here. Before we go into there, this is my private shower room and kitchen area. What's a bit strange is that you walk straight into the bathroom, but it looks pretty decent. Sink, loo, shower. Separate room for the kitchen. It's got an oven and a hob and a microwave and a fridge, kettle. There's a lamp there that's charged up to everything in the cupboard. There is hot water on this sink, but there's no hot water on the bathroom sink. And there's some instructions about how to make sure you get hot water for the shower. Like I say, basic but private and plenty big enough. I mean, really big actually. Lots of space. Could just do with a shelf in the bathroom area, that's all. There's my helicopter. There's a jet stream. There's an option for accommodation if you prefer. It's so fun. There's photos in a folder inside, but also on the website if you want to see of how they turned this into a glamping pod. And this is the private decking area. Barbecue, chimney, picnic table. Picnic table doesn't fit under the cover, which is a bit sad. You want to see inside. This covered entrance is really great. I don't know if you've ever stayed anywhere where the main door to the outside is also like straight into the bedroom, because if there's any sign of any rain, the inside gets wet. You just can't help it because you need to take your shoes off, your coat off and whatever else. They've added some hooks here, steps up. Let me spin you around and I'll show you inside. Go in here. There's a futon bed, which is super easy to open out. And then in here, it is low, but there is plenty of space. You can see my chocolate treat there. This looks into the tail of the helicopter and you can see that they've set me up with a kettle and a fridge and a heater. I'm not using any of those. I'm using the stuff in the kitchen. There's a TV, DVD player and loads of DVDs. There's a little folder there with loads of information. And then this coffee table, which probably not needed because there's that space there, but it is handy. The 2 plastic things over here are the window covers. There's a couple of draft excluders so that you can put 1 by each door. There's space down there where I've just piled up my luggage. I've used my roll bag and my packing cube there. That's obviously the cockpit. I have just piled the bedding up, got plenty of space to sit and lounge that side. There is storage for the bedding in the nose of the aircraft, like a bonnet, I suppose. But the note from the owner said, oh, if the weather's looking a bit bad, don't use that because it's not completely watertight. They've given me a duvet and 4 pillows. This is my own blanket. I brought this. I didn't need this last night. And then I did also bring another little fleece blanket, which I had underneath me last night. I was plenty warm enough. There was no question. But yeah, so the door's over here, sort of slides. This one also slides open. Looking here through to the cockpit, I mean, this place is ridiculous. You can see there is a bit of condensation that's on the inside, but it's not bad. It's only on the windows. Here we are, the cockpit. Apparently there's some sound effects somewhere, but I haven't found those. How cool is that? They've left it all intact. I particularly like the note in the information folder. If it's a yellow and black sign on a lever, please don't pull it. That'll jettison whatever it is, and it's really difficult to get the stuff back together again. Isn't it just so cool? And I think that's it. Here endeth the tour. If you do have any questions, if I've missed anything out, if you want to double check anything, drop a comment below and I will gladly answer the questions. That was something of a fail. There's a guy there from the MOD, part of the training corps, who are helping to clear the site because that's the bombing range, or the old bombing range, and he had to move his truck out of the way so I could get through the gate. And then he shouted me back and he said, wait, there's a sign here. So I came back and read the sign, sort of ran back, rushed back. The short version is, don't walk to Gibraltar Point, which is exactly where I'm going. There's no safe passage across the river. I'd have walked for a few miles to only discover that I couldn't actually get to the visitor centre where the cafe is. But then the map shows, oh, it's okay okay, because a farmer's given you a permissive footpath. I was like, great, let me have a look. And then it shows the permissive footpath going south towards Wrangle, which is the opposite direction than Gibraltar Point, which is a bit odd. I could have tried anyway. I've decided not to do that. Just trying to think what to do. Have you ever hiked in Lincolnshire? Fens, Lincolnshire, because that's obviously where I am now, and not the Wolds. There is just nothing. They call it the land of the big sky, and that's because there are no other features. And that's why the tower here, I could see quite clearly in the distance from the main road, which is a mile and a half back that way. I gave it some thought and I had a look at the map, and I am now at Chapel Point. This is the North Sea. This is Chapel Point North Sea Observatory. To the observatory! What is that from? Tell me if you know. Comments below. There is a cafe in there. I'm a bit north of Skegness now. I drove for about half an hour, I think. There is something about the east coast. Just look at it. I'll take it. Just about see the sound tower behind me, and I'm following the England coast path through the dunes here. Really pretty. That's all I can say really. If anything, I'm too warm. In a minute I shall stop and take this puffy coat off and stuff it in my bag. I've decided this is my turnaround point, and I'm going to walk a bit nearer to the water back to Chapel Point. My granddad used to say he would go and see the sea to make sure it was still there. Very glad to see that it is. I'm almost back at the observatory. Oh dear, right. Have you seen that? I don't know if you can see. It looks like I could swim in it. Let's go see if I can get across this one, or if I'm going to have to go back. Well, that was deep, but my keen Zionic hiking boots, remember they were brand new the day I went to the mushroom cabin, been wearing them ever since really. They are very waterproof because I just waded through the sea. I suspect the review of these will be up actually before this video is. I was just messaging my friend actually, and I just said, being by the sea, which has always been my happy place, definitely got that from my granddad. He just used to go and check it was still there, and I guess that's rubbed off on me, and I've always sought out the sea on any trip, even if it's just my motorcycle boots that get wet. But there's something today where being here on the Lincolnshire coast, being by this sea, making me both happy and sad at the same time. And I think that probably makes sense, doesn't it? I don't think that's too weird. One way of describing how grief has kind of taken over everything, somewhere where I would have found nothing but joy and power and awe, all of those sort of big happy emotions, there's that tinge, more than a tinge of sadness. It is still beautiful, it is still awe-inspiring, it still touches me in my soul. Even if there's this underlying feeling of sorrow, it's still a wonderful place to be. I feel close to my emotions, I feel close to my feelings when I'm here, and maybe that's what it's always been with the ocean. Maybe I've always just felt very close to my soul, and at the moment my soul and my own being are just a little bit sad. I'm working my way through it a little bit at a time, using my Quirky Stays as an opportunity to do that. And don't worry, I'm fully aware that flitting from a mini review of a pair of hiking boots to feeling sorrow in my soul due to grief, you know, what are we if we're not weird and wacky combinations of thoughts? I am human after all. I mean, one thought to another, to another, to another. What you see is what you get. Well, as you can see, I'm back at my helicopter. I'm looking as tired as I feel, so that's fine. It looks like going to be a pretty nice sunset. It's a shame that the sunset is through these, so I'm not going to be able to get a photo of my helicopter with the sunset behind it. I wonder if I can get up there. I'm going to enjoy the sunset. It is, I don't know, about 3:45 or so. Got another 3/4 of an hour of daylight or something. I think what I'm going to do is obviously make a cup of tea, have some of my mint aero bubbles, and set myself up at the picnic table to do a bit of writing. Don't you think it is just beautiful? This is one of the things I miss about Lincolnshire. The big skies with the sun. Obviously that is full blaring sun. It is 4 o'clock, there's 20 minutes to go. Look the other way, it looks a bit like it might chuck it down any minute, but it is just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And now I've got a beautiful sunset by my helicopter. It is properly golden hour and I can't capture it. It doesn't work. There's fences and all sorts of stuff in the way, but never mind. We've got a reused military helicopter. We've got fields where your food is grown. In fact, there's a tractor just coming down the track now. The most spectacular sunset. £4 and it's dark. I really hate it, and I know it's just going to get earlier and earlier until we get through to 21st of December, but here we are. This is where I live, and so this is what it does, and that's tough, but there we are, never mind. You can see I have tried out the shower this morning. There's some weird instructions on the back of the door. I think they've had problems with the shower and the thermostat in the shower and that sort of thing, and it sounds like they're in the process of getting a new one so that they can fix it. But in the meantime, if you do this weird, turn this up, press this, do this, then you get good water all the way through, and actually it did work. It was lovely. It was fine. I'm on cup of tea number 3. Checkout is in about an hour or so, and looking around, I need to do quite a lot of tidying. So the plan of attack is to pack up my belongings, get them in the car, drink that cup of tea, have to do the washing up, and I have to put the rubbish in the big bin, and then come back and tell you a little bit about what I thought, because I forgot in the last video, didn't I? And I had to do it afterwards, but you know, there we are. Right, I think that's me all packed up with the exception of the call bag that's still in the kitchen area. So yeah, I just wanted to sum it up a little bit. Should we do it inside? I think this works. What can I say to sum up this day? I mean, definitely very quirky. It ticked all the quirky boxes, and whilst it perhaps isn't sat in traditional kind of nature, being in the middle of Lincolnshire's farmland and right by the sea bank, there is definitely some of that nature. I've heard all kinds of birds while I've been here at dusk and dawn, and I definitely heard owls last night, which was wonderful, but obviously it was completely pitch black. There was no chance I was actually going to see them. It's been cosy in here. I had 2 really great nights sleep actually. I was a bit worried because the futon mattress is very thin. It's not a plush soft mattress or anything like that. I actually slept really well both nights. In fact, there's a bunch of starlings just heading off over there. But it's been comfortable, cosy, different. It's been quirky, and that's what I've been looking for in these things, isn't it? As always, I will write a blog post that accompanies this, so I can include things like how much I paid, where I booked it, and all those other things. Of course, one of the real benefits of coming to this one, and the reason that I came all the way over to the other side of the country, was so that I could spend time with family. I am now off up the road to Skegness. I'm meeting a bunch of family and maybe some friends too. Not really sure who's coming. I've kind of opened up the invitation, and we're going to go for a walk on the seafront. I'm going to eat chips, and hopefully if the kiosk is open, I'm going to eat fried donuts, because they are my favourite seaside treat. And if I'm going to Skegness for a walk in the bracing Lincolnshire weather, then I'm going to eat donuts. And with that, I think this is the end of my 2025 series of 7 quirky stays. Some of the videos are better than others. You know, that's what you get. And with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. Please give this a like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all that good stuff, and let me know if you would stay in this helicopter, because it was fun.